Wow. Welcome to my new series where I'm sharing simple 5-ingredient recipes, appetizers, soups, mains, even desserts. These are quick, affordable, and dependable. And whether you're looking for cooking to yourself, feeding your family, or just trying to avoid ordering takeout again, I want to help you save time, money, and with everything else going on in the world, these will help you stay sane in the kitchen. Today, I'm going to share a couple of easy appetizers. First up is a bacon-wrapped date, okay? It's salty, sweet, crispy on the outside, soft in the middle. Let's get started.
All you need are 16 Medjool dates. Of course, you can use as many as you want. It's fully scalable. You're gonna need some bacon and about 16 or more almonds. You can use any nut you want. My wife happens to like pecans, so I might sneak in a couple of these, but walnut halves work well. And if you want to avoid nuts, you can even use goat cheese, but that can get a little messy. And with toothpicks, that's your 5 ingredients. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Now, you can toast your nuts on a warm pan for about 6 to 8 minutes on medium-low, but I found that putting them on a sheet pan and popping them into a preheating oven a lot easier. You just need to keep an eye on them. While that's toasting, I'm going to slice the dates open and remove the pits. I'll just line them up and leave them open. If you bought already pitted dates, you're already halfway done, you fancy millionaire you. The thing about cutting dates is sometimes you have to remove the hard thing at the end called a calyx. Some have them, some don't.
All right, so I took the almonds out a little early at 350 degrees. They were getting pretty toasted, and I did that by the smell test, so they look really good and also really hot to touch. So keep an eye on them, pull them out of the oven, or like I said, use the stovetop. Now let's stuff these dates.
I'm going to take 1 almond and put it in the date. If you can fit 2, I say go for it. I can only do that for a couple of them, which is just extra crunch. Let's close them all up and set them off to the side. I'll open up a package of bacon. Since I only need half pieces, I'm going to saw this in half, but you can always use a pair of scissors. Now, I'm going to wrap each one of these with the half strip of bacon. It's as simple as just laying out the bacon and rolling them up, and then rest them on the seam. It's a lot easier than you might think. When that's all done, I'll use a trusty toothpick to hold everything together. I almost forgot that there's a hard almond in the middle, so you may have to put the toothpicks in on an angle. And once that's done, I'll just line them up onto a baking sheet. Since I have some pecans, I'm going to surprise my wife by stuffing a few more with these pecans as a nice treat for her. So here I am wrapping dates with bacon in midair and dropping them onto the sheet pan. Next, I'll pop this into the oven and bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes, flipping halfway through so that the bacon crisps up evenly. Remember, oven temperatures vary, and I don't trust my oven. While that bakes, I'm going to wash up the dishes, especially the ones that have touched meat, clean my cutting boards, and spray the surrounding area.
All right, so I baked this for a total of about 25 minutes at 375, 400 degrees. My oven's a little wonky and I let them cool down a little bit. And what you end up with is something so sweet, salty, rich, and indulgent. They're a big hit with friends and when we're watching baseball or some kind of sports. I mean, I'm just starting to get into baseball because my son is getting into baseball. But anyway, that's a different story. So this brings me to my next thing, which is a souped up salsa. But before I do, I want to just give this a little taste. Oh yeah, that really hits the spot. I'm super excited. All right, let's get to that salsa.
Here's what you need: a can of black beans, a can of corn, 1 cup of regular salsa. I know it's a little cheeky that I'm using salsa, but you could always use regular tomatoes, chop them up with some onions, garlic, and a little lime. But remember, 5 ingredients. We're going to use half of a red onion and some cilantro or parsley or something green to give it a nice burst of freshness. Let's get started. Crack open the can of beans. Drain them and put them into a bowl. You can rinse them if you want. We're going to do the same thing with the corn. I like to drain them into a bowl so that it can save the liquid for something later. Add the corn to the bowl. And yes, here's the pre-made salsa. I'm adding a generous cup to the bowl of beans and corn. Chop up about 1/4 to 1/2 of a red onion. And here's the thing. I once worked with someone whose husband would have watched 9 YouTube videos on how to cut an onion. And I just need to say that you got to do what you got to do. The main thing is take your time And don't cut yourself. Cut straight down or on an angle for more even pieces, and then chop, chop, chop to get that dice. And then toss that in. I'm going to chop up some parsley that I have from my garden. Feel free to add cilantro if you got it. Like I said, adding greens is a great way to really add some freshness to this or any salad. And forgive me, but I am going to put a pinch of salt, but that's totally up to you. Mix it all up and you're done. I like to cover it up and put it into the fridge and let it sit there for a couple of hours so that the flavors meld together.
It's great with tortilla chips and tacos, but my personal favorite is with scrambled eggs. It is honestly such a good breakfast addition and it's such a punch of flavor. So there you have it. 2 5-ingredient appetizers, one sweet and savory, and the other one bright and fresh. No stress. If you like these, there's more coming. All 5 ingredients. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And let me know in the comments, what's your favorite easy to make recipe? Now, let me go and cheer some sport.